And this is Icee, our newest gold director.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Morning. Great to see you guys here. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with what she said. That was me. I can't swallow pills, so she pointed that way. That was me. I still can't swallow it, so but I don't care. I still take my USANA supplements, so no excuse for you guys if you can't, swallow it. But yeah, so 7 years ago, I got kidnapped by my cousin to see Mike's presentation. So he's just like, come with me. I was like, okay, where are we going? Just come with me. So I signed up right away because I saw the value. And of course, because Abby was there and she's my friend. And of course, my cousin was a part of it too. At that age, we were young and and I'm sure, like most of you guys are in your early 20s, you guys want to party, and I understand, that's life, we all go through it. But looking back at it now, I always say this, I wish I started back then. I saw the value, I grew up back then, because now, after I could have been in a different place. I see Mike now and I'm like, imagine if I just ran with it, back then I would have been in a different place. But no, I didn't see it till like a little over a year ago, when I came back the second time. We were in San Diego partying as usual. So it's new, right? So that was a year ago, and this was when Team West was already forming. So on the ride back to here in Anaheim, Arabelle and Abby were in the car with me, with Sean and I was just telling her like where I was at. I was 28. I was working for Kaiser, but it wasn't to be in a family of 8. That my brother and his wife, and being the eldest, like what you said earlier, like there's just a lot of responsibilities, and to depend on just Kaiser alone, it was very hard. I could have been working on myself, my own family, but I couldn't. So I was like, okay, I gotta find another way. So again, perfect timing, you gotta love people where they're at, because you never know, some things will change. And guess what, it just so happened she was there, or they were both there, and that was the right timing. And then I just made a decision. You know what? I was like, I've been doing this for so many years. I'm almost 30. That's if you really think about it, it's kind of embarrassing if you don't have your life together by your 30s, when you're 30. So thank you, Abby and Arabelle. I remember Arabelle saying like, Icee is hard. I was like, a year and a half later, I'm now one of the gold directors, and what I'm gonna train you guys on with right now is I'm just gonna give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I know it's all about. We do personal development. It's very, very important. I prayed a lot in the car the entire time I was doing the gold run. Because it really gave me strength. I know we all have different beliefs, but that was me. But I'm gonna let you know right now, like what happened, how I prepared, how I did it for the last for the next 4 weeks, and what my next goal is. So I'm not gonna tell you this, guys, just to scare you, like, oh, don't do the gold director because it's so scary, I'm just letting you know, just so when you guys declare and when you guys do it, you already know what to do, and you don't do the same mistakes that I did. Hopefully it'll help you. It'll help you guys prepare. And the difference, I just want to commend the other gold directors in Team West. When I started the gold run, I already had a team building. So the other gold directors in West, they built a team while doing the gold run. So You know, you can do this by yourself. It doesn't matter if you have a team. You know, of course, it's very helpful to have a team, but for them to be able to do it with while building a team, like that's that's mad props to you guys. So okay, that's a little bit about I just did these slides last night, so I'm like.
Is it on Icee?
Is it? Okay. So first, this was like right after convention of 2014. I made a declaration and I posted it on Facebook and Instagram. So I was really, that really ignited me. That was my first time going to convention ever. I was a director back then, and after seeing everything, I was just fired up. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go back to convention next year the same. So I made a declaration. So I suggest that you guys do the same. And I was with you guys in convention just recently, and I know you guys made some of your declarations. So first things first, make a declaration. So when you guys look back, you can look back and say like, wow, like that was just me last year. Now I'm in a different place. Okay. So again, I'm going to talk about how I prepared, what I did during the 4-week run, and my 2016 goals, or like how you could prepare yourself for your goals for 2016. Okay, first things first, you gotta build your mindset. You don't just go declare and just say, okay, how are we gonna do it? You have to prepare yourself. Sean, my boyfriend, he does jiu-jitsu, and I know before he does his competition, he listens to, I don't know, it was like some hard rock metal music, but it was the same music actually, and that was played at Southpaw. If you guys haven't seen the movie, but it was very motivating. It was very empowering. Like saying I'm a beast, blah blah blah. Yeah. So it's the same thing. You gotta prepare your mind. You gotta prepare yourself. Right. Before I did this, I was on the reset too, so I had to prepare my body. But first things first, personal development. These are some of the things that I really listen to over and over, aside from the many other things that I listen to. But specifically this, since I was only on the first year of the business. So first thing is Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. So I had to listen to that over and over again. And now Abby told me, this is the first thing that you have to tell your team if you are building a team. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, for those of you guys who have listened to this audio, Jim Rohn will talk about the birds and the bees. And if you haven't listened to it, if I talk to you, or if you hear me and Abby talk and say, yeah, the birds and the bees, you'll be thinking, isn't that what they talk about in school? Like, like, no. So you see, you have to be on the same page as us. Yeah. So first things first, listen to that. Power of Ambition by Jim Rohn. That was the next audio that I listened to. And like what Abby said, I'm pretty busy. My days are pretty busy. I start my days at 5:30 in the morning because I work 7 to 3:30. Then I go to the gym. And then at that time, I was meal prepping for Sean and I. So I was cooking for two. And I was working on my USANA business. So imagine my days were nonstop. It was just like this. Yes. But I learned how to manage my priorities. Right. I don't watch TV anymore. Right. Unless it's something that's really important, I guess. But Power of Ambition, I would listen to it at the gym. Instead of listening to music, this is what I listen to. I didn't have an iPod. I don't know how to transfer, these audios to my phone. So I was like, Chini, I found someone who could do it for me. So no excuses, you guys. Find a way. And GoPro by Eric Worre. Okay, very important, because if you want to know specific skills or what to say, how to invite people, how to approach them, this is the audio that you guys have to listen to. GoPro. And we saw him in Vegas a few months ago, so that was very, very helpful. Okay, next thing is training. I wasn't, okay, back then, the old me wasn't at training because I was hungover. And, but now I made sure I was in training like every Saturday. Never missed, even if I was tired, I'm used to 8 hours of sleep. So if even if I had less hours of sleep, I knew I had to make it here.
Right.
So for some of you, you guys would hear it over and over. Oh yeah, I've heard that, blah blah blah. But again, it's like listening to a song. It has to stay in your mind, like where it's like you can pretty much say what the speaker is saying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, you're kind of mimicking in your seat.
Yes. Right.
Saturday training, very important. And if I couldn't make it, I had to make sure that I was listening to it on the webinar. I was on my way. One time I was on my way to Palm Springs to present to like a dozen people, and that was on a Saturday. And Mike was doing training at that time, so you could hear me on the webinar, on the phone, on the way to Palm Springs, listening, because I had to make sure I didn't miss it.
Right.
USANA events. We would have small events every now and then, super Saturdays, sometimes even webinars. I like going to that, especially if it's for when it's a doctor speaking, just because I like learning that way. I'm more into like the health part, like what does this supplement do? What does this do? So, when you see webinars or online trainings, tune into that, especially those events where the team goes like Super Saturdays or we usually have it in Long Beach or in other places. And we also have training videos on the Google Drive. And I like to, when I can't find something that I want on Google Drive, I go to YouTube. I subscribe to the USANA Health Sciences channel, and they have a lot of videos on product info, on trainings, objections, how to invite people in USANA, so you have access to all of these trainings, so there's no excuse for you guys to say, well, I can't find it. Well, I can't find it in the Google Drive, or I didn't make it to that training. Well, it's available for you, and anyone can look it up. So subscribe to that channel, because I go to that one a lot, and I send that to my team. Listen to this, you guys, just in case I can't train them, or at that time. And then before I started, I met up with my upline. So I met up with Alan. Alan's very good with knowing your numbers, with planning out stuff, planning out runs. So I'm very bad at that. So I found someone, aside from Abby and Madel as well. They're very good with mapping out numbers. So I met up with him, and this was months before I started my gold run. So I forgot when this was, probably like I don't know, like March or April or something. So we sat together. Okay, what numbers do I have right now, and what numbers do I need to hit to do the gold run? Aside from that, I already had a team building. I had all 4 of my legs going. So I already had 4 of my team. So I also wanted them to get paid and rank advanced during my gold run. So we mapped that out as well. Okay, in order for me to hit the goal, in order for me to do the gold run, how can we get each leg or each of my team members run as well? So we mapped that out. Oh, look at that. Okay, and like I said, one good thing to do, one good goal to have during your gold run is, if you have a team, help them get paid. Again, we're all about teamwork here. I always tell my team, no one gets left behind, so always make sure that once you help them rank advance, help them get paid, because that'll help you guys as well. Start planning now. Don't wait till the day before your run. That is the worst thing that you could do. Although I do commend Joanne Olimberio, because her original plan was just to do Silver Director, and then Mike just told her, "Why don't you just continue?" She's like, "Okay," and it's amazing. She did it, So when I think about that, I was like, "Wow, that's a really great accomplishment." So start planning now. If you did declare it, it takes months, but don't do it last minute. Start planning now. So look up your contact list. I have my notes. but list out all your contacts, and that involves people you haven't even spoken to in a long time. Even back from like you were in grade school, you know. If you know people from other countries, do that as well. You know, I did that too. Your follow-ups, people who have ordered from you before, or people you have mentioned USANA to, write them down. Anyone that you have exposed the business to, whether it's health or even someone that you just reconnected with, write them down. Also, I like to, you know, my mom complains that I'm on Facebook a lot or on my phone, but I'm only on Facebook and Instagram because I look at everyone's feeds. You know, I look at what they're posting, not because I'm being nosy. Well, sort of, you know, but you never know what they're gonna post. Like one of this guy that I did a photo shoot with before. I only met him once. You know, we didn't really get to talk at all. It was more like, okay, did a photo shoot and bye. But I did add him on Facebook. So I know he's very, very athletic. That's his job. He's one of the Pirates of the Caribbean right here. And I saw him post about how he wants to study nutrition because he sees how degenerative diseases is killing the population right now. I was like, wow, that is exactly what we're doing. So I took that opportunity and messaged him right away. So yeah, use that. That's a good way to. There's a reason to be on Facebook too. It's not just because you're on social media.
Right.
And again, follow up. And then get ready to wrap.
What does your contact list look like? Is it on Excel sheet?
It's on my notebook.
It's written down.
Yes, written down.
When you follow up, do you just like write the date that you last talked to them, or how does that work?
Well, most of them I have it on my phone, so all of those follow-ups. Even I have conversations on my phone, text messages from like last year. I keep them there, you know. But on my notebook, I write down their name and what I expose them to. Let's say this person ordered a reset. You know, I can go back to that. This person, I want to expose the business, so I wrote business. You know, so on and so forth. So you have an idea. Okay. So during your run, even when you're planning it out, you gotta fill up your calendar right now. I know Arabelle and Abby showed my calendar at their presentation in convention, but this is how my week looked like during my run. I made sure that my whole day was filled with everything, with calls, with webinars, with appointments, and it was actually like back to back. Like I would have to run, I would have to drive, you know, right after my appointment, drive to the next one. You know, I didn't wait like, okay, I have one today, I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. If they say, okay, are you available on this day? Okay, I have an appointment at that time, but I can meet you right after. So at least you're not wasting any hour.
Nice. Yep.
Even if it says just bring me a banana. Of course, and I went, you know, I did my run during my birthday. So, you know, I made sure I finished my run and then I went ziplining in Catalina.
How you do?
Yeah. And then when I finished my run, I was in Vegas. Well, you know, you could still party and, you know, enjoy life, you know, but make sure you do your work first and you celebrate. Okay, so these are some of the examples of how I invited people, and these are the people that I don't talk to, you know. The people that my warm market, my cold market, my cold market, I could easily just say, hey, I need your help. You know, and that's how I do it with my family and with our friends, me and Nico's friends, and Abby's friends. Like, there are friends where like one request from them, Icee, how can I help you? Okay, how much do you need?
Exactly.
So I don't have to worry about them. But you know, when I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, how do I approach a new, you know, someone I haven't spoke to in a long time? So these are just some of the examples that I did. I used different tools and different invitations. Of course, you can say it's not formal because we're not doing a commercial here. You know, you're being you, you know, but you're being straight up on what your intention is. So this one is Leah, who's actually in my team now. She signed up during my gold run. She has her grand opening later on, so I'm going to that right after. But this is how I messaged her on Facebook. I noticed that she was into makeup and, you know, and all of that. So I told her, I was like, hey, Leah, you know, message her on Facebook, like, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hey, I have a question. So she said, what's up? So this is what I said. So I'm currently working on a project this month, which is the Gold Run. I see that you're into beauty and skincare. I partnered up with other artists and scientists on this project, and I want to share it with you. Would you be open to it? Nice. Okay, she said, sure. Cool, I just need 45 minutes of your time. Will you be free tomorrow after lunch? And so she said, well, I'm free on Friday. I was like, okay, great. I'll meet you at, you know. And, you know, and what's funny about Leah is because after I presented to her, mind you, I didn't have a laptop. I still don't have a laptop, you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you guys how I did my runs, all my runs without a laptop. But I presented to her with just my phone, you know. So, but after that, I left. When I left and we were done, she texted me. She's like, wow, Icee, I feel like you came at the right time because I got a call from my father-in-law saying that he has something with his blood disease, like the doctor called me. It's like, I just feel like, you know, it's like someone sent you and just said, you know. So that was really good to hear. You know, you never know. Yeah, I don't know what was going on in her life, but hadn't I reached out to her and asked her, you know, she wouldn't have known what USANA has to offer.
Right.
Yeah, Abby.
Question. So I really like your invite here because I can see that you found her hot button. You did a little bit of research before presenting the opportunity. And you asked, are you open to see it? Because a lot of times I feel like we're constantly assuming, you know, so do you do this with all of your...
All of them. Yeah. For me, I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste their time, my time.
Yes.
You want to filter out, you know, I always tell people this business is open to everyone, but it's not for everyone, you know. And I tell them right there and then because we're not here to please people, you know. We're here, you know. Well, you know, we want to make them happy, but it's like, okay, let's get down to business. Let me help you. Do you need help, first of all?
Yes.
Let me help you. Okay, let's get down to business. You know, as opposed to like, I don't know, let me think about it. Okay, when you made a decision, I'll come back to you.
Right.
You know, moving on to the next one. Yeah.
And doing that saves you a lot, like you said, saves you a lot of time. And instead of trying to get everyone, right? Like you don't have to, we're not here to get everyone, right? And also a thing that I see is that you guys can see in her invites, she says, I see that you're into beauty and skincare. And then the other one says, from the last time we saw each other in LA, you were wearing your Fitbit or your Fuel Band. So I'm guessing you're health conscious. She's making the observation about them first, kind of complimenting them in that way. You know, so they're like, okay, she's connected with me. If I was reading that, I would be like, oh, someone's paying attention to what I'm doing. So I would be like, I'm more inclined to see that. Like, you can't just text someone, hey, do you need some pre-workout? You know, like, it's that might work sometimes, right? Bro. That might work sometimes, but it's not going to work all the time. So this is part of like the personal development. Obviously, I'm sure your invites weren't exactly like this in the beginning, right? But it pays off so much to do a little bit of research, being able to listen more than you are to talk first. And looking at really going onto Facebook with a purpose now. Instead of just being on Facebook. So.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I see that in your invites.
Awesome. This person too, I totally, she's more of like in between cold and warm. I met her through a friend in college, which is like 10 years ago, and I probably only met her like once. So this person, like, I don't, probably had a conversation like once, but I do remember her because she was a friend of one of my college friends.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I went to LA to go to a party, for networking purposes. That's pretty much the reason why I go now.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there and I saw her there. So I saw that she was wearing, and Sean was there, my boyfriend was there. So I'm sure she noticed it, and I was curious. I was like, which one, like, what does it really do? I don't have one, so please tell me. So again, because I saw that and I remembered it, I added her on Facebook when I, the next day found her, and then I decided to message her. So
Nice.
again, here, I asked permission. Would you be open to it? She said, yeah, definitely, great. I would love to sit down and discuss with you. I'm free at 5 p.m. tomorrow. I already gave her my schedule because, again, I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
So will you be able to meet for an hour and live in a house, and I can meet you? By the way, what's your phone number so I can text you? Because if we continue our conversation on Facebook, she won't be able to check it.
Right.
So your goal is to always get their phone number right away.
Right.
I just don't want to miss your message here on FB.
Yeah. I like how you highlight are you open to it? Because this is what happens when we're inviting. We're getting ready. We're like, okay, like we're kind of getting in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
But what we forget sometimes is when we're texting someone, like I'm just thinking of a mother with a child.
Mm-hmm.
If you're texting someone and this mom is trying to get their child into the what do you call that?
Car seat.
No, the car seat, right? They're in the middle of the groceries and the child, and I'm texting, hey, I was wondering if you were open to see like this business, and they're like, no, not right now, because they're in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
So when we don't even ask, like, hey, do you have some time? We're just kind of going straight in, and then we end up kind of hurting ourselves because we're like, oh, they don't want to see what I'm saying, what I want to show them. But really, they're just in between a child and groceries.
Yes.
I think that far, like, no, it's not about me. It's just, okay, maybe in like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
exactly.
it's so important to ask, are you open to it?
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you, you know what, right now I'm kind of caught up with this and that.
Yes.
So I really love that last part on your invite because I think people forget that last part because there's no permission.
Yes, exactly. And give it a few. Wait a little. Sometimes they're busy, so they don't respond right away. So you get discouraged. Oh my gosh, I didn't get a response. You don't know what they're doing at that moment, so just give it a chance. Wait till the next day. If they don't really respond for like a few days, then that they just ignored you. Then move on. But hopefully by that time you've already made another contact and not wait for just that one person because you never know if they're gonna respond to you.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is another example through text. This girl, Sean and I, we went to a sushi restaurant. We just tried it out for the first time. And this was a cold market. She was one of the servers. And she was really, just like any service, they have to give you great customer service. And she really did. So it started by, she asked if we wanted to try the oyster shooters. And of course, we had no idea because we've never tried it before. So we asked her, this is our first time trying the oyster shooters. Can you tell us more, like, how do we do it? Like, what's in it? Blah, blah, blah. So she's like, okay, well, this is it, and all that stuff, And so we were also looking at the menu, and this is our, what's great here? We don't know what's in it. So she was really educating us. So after that, okay, we let her, we let her work. And after we finished our meal, I told Sean, okay, are you going to go for it? Because I'm going to go for it.
That's a question.
Yeah. No, not for a rock, for the turn. So, she already had a great vibe, She was willing to help us out. She was willing to tell us all this information. So that already gave me, okay, I would love to work with her. I would love to partner up with her. So I asked her, when she gave us our check, it's like, how long have you been working here? You seem to know everything. She said, oh, I've only been here for 6 months. I was like, oh wow. I was like, you're really great. You have really great customer service. And then I asked her, are you doing this full time? She goes, no, I'm doing this part time because I'm tutoring, at some school. I was like, okay, do you see yourself doing that, as a career, or like, do you want to do that forever? And she said, no, I don't know. I was like, okay, well, my boyfriend and I we're working on a project right now with a group with our other team members, and I was wondering if you'd be open to it. And she's like, yeah, okay. Okay, let me get your number right now, and then I'll text you so you can save my number. Okay, great. And then let's meet up and discuss it. They're like, okay, great. So she gave my number. I texted her as soon as I left because by the time she gets off of work, I wanted her to like remember me right away. Like, yeah. Hi, Kat. This is Icee from the sushi restaurant. Please save my number and let's take a look at our schedules and schedule it. So and of course we tipped her really big, so we heard her scream in the kitchen like, Okay, so I texted her. This was during around a long day weekend. I forgot what holiday that was, but anyway, obviously she was busy and it was the holiday, so she was her schedule was busy as well. So with this I did the video, the 5-minute video. So I said, hello, blah blah blah. Sorry about the later. This is her, by the way. I've been all over the place the last few days. If you send me the video, I'm sorry. My text messages are weird. They're kind of inverted. Yeah. I can take a look and give you some feedback. Good morning, no problem. I understand. Okay, here's the link. It's 10 minutes. Is it okay to call you at 10 a.m. for 5 minutes to talk about it? So I asked her, since she was busy, if I send you a 5-minute video, would you have time to take a look at it? And she said, yes. Okay, well, what time are you going to look at the video? Okay, great. So I'll send it to you at this time. So when you're done, I'll call you right after and we'll discuss it. Okay. Nice. And mind you, this was at work when I was at work that day. So during my 15-minute break at 9 a.m., I called her at that time. I made sure I took my break at 10 a.m. and just did the call for 15 minutes. So that was during my walk. I walk during my break, so for 15 minutes. So done. Again, you make sure that you have a specific time that you're gonna call them. Look, it was even at 10:10. But after that, after I sent her the video, I called her. Okay, what did you like about what you saw? And she said, well, I like health, but she wasn't into the business. She wasn't open to it. It's like, okay, well, great. Thank you for your feedback. I would like to, reconnect with you again. Maybe some other time. But again, she told me right away. I asked her right away what she wanted or what she liked about the video. She gave me a direct answer. Okay, she said she wasn't interested at the moment. Okay, great. Then, okay, I thanked her, and said, would love to reconnect with you again because I'm going to see her again, if I go back to that restaurant, and I'm sure I will. So again, there's no bad vibe like, okay, well, forget you. Never know. Always leave on a good note.
Yes.
Always leave on a good note.
Ice question. What video do you usually send across?
This one was the Jordan Kemper Health and Freedom. Based on experience, I started liking to send the More Than a Vitamin video. For me, it's just a good intro into health and business. It wasn't, and that worked for me more. The More Than a Vitamin video. Okay, so this is during my run. What I'm gonna tell you is the struggles that I went through for each week and my aha moments for that week.
Nice.
Okay, so, week 1. Okay, never give up till the buzzer hits. Okay. even though I planned this out for a few months, nothing's gonna go out the way that you planned it. Always. That's just how life is. So you can never expect things to go your way. So I'm just gonna tell you what happened in my week, my first week, which was my hardest week. We didn't know if we were gonna push through with my run until that Friday at 3:30 p.m. So, and that was the last day of week 1. So you know what, Sean and I were like, my boyfriend and I, because he was a part of this run as well. Okay, that was our plan A. It didn't work out. Obviously, we had a plan B. Okay, but we wouldn't find out until 3:30 p.m. that day on a Friday. So after we found out that it would work. Okay, his plan, his side worked. Okay, let me work on mine. Let's just go until before 11 p.m. And we hit it. Week 1.
Awesome.
Week 1. So never give up till the buzzer hits. We've had all throughout the run, things won't work out, and we wouldn't stop till 10:59. Actually, we kind of even pushed it to like 11 p.m. Let's just see if it goes through. Okay, you did? Okay, great. And we were seriously like this in the office, just the two of us were like shaking because you're such under pressure, but you just can't let that overcome you and be like, no, I can't do this anymore. You're just gonna have to tight even if you're shaking. Just so true story. Good thing nobody saw us because we were seriously like that. But you gotta learn how to work under pressure because no pressure, no diamond.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
So that's in a few years. Okay, week 2, we thought week 2 was gonna be easier because we already had points ready to go through, but there was another struggle. Week 2, I had one more pro pack to close. I was 1,200 points away, and I didn't close my last pro pack till that Friday again in the afternoon. So again, I went on Facebook. I see who else I could hit up, and I just thought that maybe I could hit up this girl from back when I was in grade school in the Philippines who now lives in Georgia. I was like, I don't know, let's just see what she's going to say. Let's just see what she's going to say. Okay, so I messaged her that morning, and I should have posted the conversation. But anyway, I said, again, I'm sure same concept, But this time I asked her, would you be open to helping me expand in Georgia? I have a team out there that I'm working with, but I would love for you to partner up with me because I'm working on this project and, I need someone to help me expand over there. And she's like, sure, I'm willing, I'm willing to meet up, By that time in the afternoon, I set up a webinar with her. I was like, okay, I'm going to send you a link. All you have to do is just click on it at this time, and we'll discuss there. I like to use the word discuss as opposed to like let me present to you or let me talk, because you're discussing a business, So I presented to her, and she said yes. It was perfect timing because she said she was looking into improving her health, hers and her boyfriend, and at the same time she was also looking for bettering her finances. So again, perfect timing. So I closed that on a Friday. So use different tools to present. So again, when I was with Leah, I had to use my phone. With her, I had to do a webinar because and Adrian, he's done his presentations in Guam and the Philippines, and so you could use the webinar. He had to sacrifice the time, of course, of the time difference, but that's a sacrifice that you have to make. I've used newspapers presenting, and whenever I can borrow a laptop, for the videos. Week 3, week 3. What was it? This is when I closed Leah, the one who did makeup and who liked makeup. And again, you want to see what a person is good at, like what her skills are, what her talents are, and maybe maybe encourage her or him to use that in doing this business.
Right.
You know, I saw that she was into makeup, that I thought, well, you know what, maybe you could use this to, you know, do what you love to do, you know, do spa parties and blah, blah, blah. So when I met up with her, I said, you know, I know this is about health, but we do have skincare, and you could do this business by doing spa parties. You know, I edified you, edified Janelyn. I was like, I have someone in our team who does makeup, and she does she talked about skincare and does makeup tutorials. So, you know, that really got her, you know. So think about what they like to do and use that. If they're personal trainers, or if they like to work out, then you know you could ask them, you know, as a personal trainer, you get commission when you get paid, right? Like, yeah, okay. Oh, because I honestly thought they kept everything, you know, up until I learned. And then I said, what if you can keep 100% of your commission and you have all, you know, access to all these clients? So that's a good way. Okay, week 4. Oh, week 4. That was very bad. Because I had this one prospect who agreed that she would, you know, partner up, and then she backed out on the very last day, on a Friday that morning of my last week. So of course, you know, that really pushed me back. So what I learned from that was, you can't let any challenge stop you. Like what Amy Purdy from Convention said, you just have to be creative. You know, think. You gotta think different ways. Okay, what can we do? Who else can we hit up? You know, maybe I could do a deal where I could meet a person halfway or something like that.
Yeah.
And this was the point where I got together with my team. Okay, team, let's get together. How can we do this? So I finished my run on the van on the way to Vegas. And by the time I looked up, my run was done, and the Vegas lights were showing.
Wow.
But in the van, in the car, on the way there, I had Nico and Eunice there. They were a part of my run as well. And Sean was there too, a part of my team. So we really worked together. We were, the entire time, we were on our iPads, on our phones, just making calls on the phone. The light was on. No one, my friend in the front was like, I wonder what was going back in there. You know, but again, we didn't let anything stop us. You know, we just kept on going. Okay, let's just keep on going until 11 p.m. Let's see how far we can get.
Wow.
We got creative. So again, each week you're gonna have struggles. Do not expect anything to happen, you know, just how you planned it, because you gotta have plan A, you gotta have plan B, and you gotta have plan C. That's just how it's gonna happen. Okay. So these are, again, like what I talked about. You have assumptions versus reality, you know. And I told you guys, I'm gonna tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. But one of them is, do not stop with one contact. Just because you contacted one person, or you got one person's number, then you're like, okay, I'm done for the day. No, you have to fill your calendar. You have to get as much contact as you can, because you never know who's gonna say yes to you or not. So it's always good to have a backup. Next is focus on what they want, not what you want for them. This is from Darren Hardy in Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster from Convention. Again, we're here to listen to people's needs. That's what makes us different from salespeople.
Yes.
You know, we give them service. You know, I'm sure when you go to cars, all they want is to get your money and to make a sale, even if they don't want that car. But here, like what Abby said, you're getting me. You know, when I message people and I help them with the reset, I always ask them, okay, before you do this, I'm going to give you some tips and a sample of how I did my reset. But after this, I want you to continue. And again, I ask permission. Would you like me to help you for the next few weeks till you help your goals? Because again, you know, I could leave her alone and be like, okay, take the products and go, you know, but because I want her to succeed, you know, I want to take care of this person, and I don't want this person to waste their money, on a product, and who knows what's gonna happen? They're gonna fail midway. So I can ask permission. So there they tell me, yes, please, I need someone. Okay, great, because I'm gonna let you know right now that I'm gonna text you every day to make sure you're on top of it. So again, there was my posture even through text. I was like, oh, okay, I'll text you, just to make sure you're okay. No, it's like you're getting the products and you're getting me. That's the service that we give people. Okay, one thing for that too is always first you gotta ask them what their health goal is. You gotta ask them what they need. Don't look at one person. Don't look at your prospect and be like, okay, you look like this, so I think you need this. You never know. They're probably in denial. I have one prospect who, he was obviously overweight, and that was causing his health problems. But when I spoke to him, he wasn't bringing that up. He was bringing another problem. So instead of him saying, well, I think you actually need this, you need to reset more. I said, okay, why won't we address that? Why don't we fix those joints? And then after that, okay, now, seeing progress there. Okay, now what's the next step? Okay, now, why don't we, now that you got that fixed, why won't we personalize your nutrition, customize your nutrition so we can help your overall health? Let's just not stop there. Again, I listened to what his need was first. Okay, do not assume that everyone will partner up with you right away. People tend to think that, oh, I know this person's gonna say yes because they don't have a choice, or like because they're gonna listen to what I say. That's not gonna happen. You don't know. Again, we don't know what people are going through. Maybe they're going through some stuff, or maybe they really don't like the idea, even if you're really close to them. So again, that's why you have to keep on going with your contacts. Anything can happen at the 11th hour. Keep pushing. This has really pushed us to just not care about what we do and who we hit up. Sean and I, and if you don't know Sean, he's very, very shy. He doesn't speak. So it was really very uncomfortable for him to start messaging people, even just random people. So on a Friday night before our week, I think week 2 or week 3 ended, we were in this office. We were still short a few points. I was like, Sean, this is not the time to to sugarcoat things, hit up the I know there's no time to present. You just have to ask. You just have to ask. And the people that he asked, he was very iffy about them in the beginning because he hasn't shown up to their events and all that stuff. But it's like you can just ask them. You never know if they're gonna say yes.
Right.
Hey, would you like vitamins for your kids? Okay. See, you wouldn't have noticed when you have them. And of course, if it's for their family, it's for their kids, they're not gonna say no. And he messaged one person that he doesn't usually talk to, but they were friends for so many years, and he's taking the products, but he would get it from someone else. I was like, but you never know. You don't know if he's out or if he's still continuing. So I was like, just go for it. Just ask him right now. Text him. Hey, are you still taking the essentials? He's like, I'm actually out. Can I get it from you? I was like, see, okay, there you go. Okay, get the order. So, it was something very uncomfortable for him to do, but you just have to go for it because you never know what answer you're gonna get. Okay, there is no secret. It's all about action.
Yes.
I went to the silver and above party after convention. So we met up with the diamonds there, and one of the I think it's a 6-star diamond, Billy De La Fuente from the Philippines. They were giving us their nuggets. Their any tips and any advice. And what Abby said that I didn't really find anything that mind-blowing. Because it's true, you come to training, you listen to personal development, and you go to all these events, and let's be honest, it's the same thing. It's just obviously a different perspective, and you don't know, that could be your aha moment at that time, or you don't know that maybe at this time how this person said it. Okay, yeah, okay, now I understand it now.
Yeah.
You know, but basically what he said, it's just all about action. You know, you could learn all these things, you could learn all of the facts, all the details, but what are you gonna do about that? Just keep it all in. You know, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna learn things as you go along. It's more like, again, experience is the best teacher. You know, if you make a mistake, okay, if you feel like, okay, maybe I said that in the wrong way, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way, okay, then great, then you know what to say the next time. Okay, words of wisdom. Stop selling. This is from Darren Hardy. I know some of us are great with promoting products, and Eunice is actually one of them. I am so amazed by her. She's very quiet, you know. She's very quiet. She's like Sean. I know, I'm putting them on the spot. I'm sorry. But I'm just letting you know this, that you could be the shyest person in the world, but you could still make it happen. You know? So she can sell resets like this, and it's pretty crazy. So stop selling. We're not salespeople, although it may seem like we're doing sales, but we're pretty much giving our service, you know. Stop and listen. No, this is a problem for people who like to talk.
Yes.
But I'm just gonna give it to you guys straight. You need to shut up and listen. You have to know. You have to let them talk. People like to talk, and within that, they're gonna tell you what their problem is.
Yes.
You just have to wait for it and be like, got it. That's it. Okay, now that's when you enter and say, well, since you mentioned this, maybe I can help you in this way. That's the time that you present the opportunity. Because they're not gonna listen to you if you keep on talking about, you know, about the product and about Usana. You know, not until like you address like what they need, because then they're gonna think, okay, this person has something for me. Now it's time for me to listen. Okay. So, 3, ask questions. This was great training from Grace. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her last name. It's very hard. Kyoho. Okay. Oh my gosh, did I say it wrong? No. Okay. Okay. When we went to Sweet Retreat last year with all the Usana females, which was a great event, she was there. She trained us for like 3-4 hours on coaching. So it was great because there we learned how to basically talk to people by just asking, and then the person that we're speaking to just answers the question for them. And it's pretty crazy, like realizing, wow, you could instead of telling people, okay, you need this and then that, they answer it for themselves. So again, you know, here you ask them, they're like, well, what are your health goals? Okay, they tell you, you know, what their health goals are. Okay, well, what are you doing about it right now? Well, I'm doing this and then, okay. So pretty much they're already answering it for you, you know, and, you know, obviously if they realize that, oh my gosh, I'm not doing anything about it. Okay, well, if you said this and that from what I heard, you know, from what you told me, you need this, would you be open if I showed you another way? Would you be open if I showed you what helped me and my family? Which is true because it helped me and my family first. Again, you're letting them answer their own questions. So that was really great coaching from Grace. Ask questions as opposed to talking a lot. For present objections as you present. This is something that I learned along the way. In the beginning, I was a terrible speaker. I'm sure when I started speaking, I had a lot of ums. I'm sure I still have it. I just don't realize it, but it's okay. You improve, you know, as you go along. You become, everything becomes so familiar with you that it just goes straight out of your mouth. And what I realized is when I present, because I talk to a lot of urchins, people who are very analytical, very skeptical, and you're gonna have to learn how to face them. You know, I don't know everything, you know, but because I always say if a person knows what they're looking for, then as long as I present them the facts, then they're gonna have. Then I'm sure they already know. Okay, is this valid enough? You know. So when I would present, as I'm presenting each slide, I'm already answering an objection, or I'm already thinking, okay, I know these people usually think about this when they see the business. They're thinking pyramid scheme. Okay, let me address that right now in this slide. Okay, next thing. Okay, I know people are thinking, okay, this is a weight loss program. You know, what if the person doesn't care about weight loss? You know, what if they're already fit? Okay, let me address that right now. I'm letting you know this is not a weight loss program. It's a detox. So even the healthiest person, you know, I'm not directly telling the person, okay, this is, you know, I know you're healthy and all that, but I'm saying, you know, this could be for a healthy person as well. You know, so by the time I'm done with my presentation, they have less questions.
Right.
You know, and I did a small training last Saturday for powerful presenting, and I was telling them how to answer each slide with an objection, or by answering an objection. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Again, you could, when you say something, you can sound monotonous and everything, but it won't catch that person. But if they see through you that, wow, this person is really speaking from the heart, you know, then people are more attracted to that.
Yes.
You know, when you could say, well, you know, I helped this person lose something pounds, you know, as opposed to me saying, you know, I was able to help my stepdad, you know, who has this and that, and that's a really great deal for me because he's my stepdad, you know. You see, like, you add your heart in there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a why. I learned from Rich Tan. He's one of the one-star diamond directors in the Philippines. That it's the why. The why is how they build their business in the Philippines because they share it so much. So again, people have to see your heart.
Yeah.
6, do not argue, give perspective. I was like Abby at the beginning. I would go into debates, and I got taken out of a room one time because it was really getting heated. This is a true story. But that was me years ago. You know, 7 years ago. Oh, thank you. I'm telling you, it's Comedy Central with me speaking. But I got taken out, you know, and that's because we didn't learn. You know, I didn't know. I didn't go through training. You know, it was all about like, no, me, no, you don't understand. No, I'm right. You know, usually I am. But you know, again, this is where personal development. I had to just calm myself down. I know the facts. I know my facts are valid. And if I let this person just talk and then have this person present the person, you know, the fact and ask them, okay, if a person says, okay, is this a pyramid scheme? I ask them, what is a pyramid scheme to you? Okay, well, isn't this like this and like that? And, you know, so instead of me saying, no, you know, that's not right. You don't know anything because you haven't been in it. You weren't in my place. I could just say, well, if you take a look at it this way, and I use their situation as an example, you know, or even just not be. I don't have to directly talk to that person, but just give an example. Okay. Mostly people, you know, who work for corporate are like this and like that. They're at the bottom. Yeah, I kind of do it that way. So I'm not really attacking that person, but letting him think, you know, paint that whole picture where they're like, okay, you know, because I know when I'm done, they're already thinking. They may seem like, okay, they because they know because they know that. Okay, give perspective. Just calm down. Let them talk, let them finish, and then you give your answer. Make them think about what they just said. So when faced with a challenge, be creative. Again, that was, from Amy 30. Pretty much with everything. Okay, just an example. Okay, I haven't had a laptop for like the longest time because the screen broke and my friend's taking a long time to fix it, but it's okay. So my entire director run, my entire silver director run, I didn't have a laptop. So, it's a struggle. So for me, there's really no excuse in doing this business because you could do it with any tools that you have. When I finished my director run, again, I was on my way to Vegas on a Friday, but I finished it with just being on my phone. My silver director run, I just had an iPad with me. And I'm gonna tell you my story, a little story about that because now I'm not ashamed to tell it. But last year when that happened, my car got repossessed. So I didn't have a laptop, I didn't have a car. But I still made it to Saturday training. I still made it to H&M, And Jeannie, one of my team members, she knows that. I found a way. I wasn't gonna let, like me being carless, not make it here. Again, you have to find a way. Ask for rides. The team's there to help you. Just ask for a favor. I'm sure they're not gonna say no. I'm not gonna give you a ride. Yeah, they're gonna help you, but. Looking back at it, I was like, okay, I needed $1,000 to get my car back. Okay, so that's when I decided, okay, I'll go for silver. That's why, Abby was like, I don't know what she's doing. All of a sudden, she's doing a run because, a situation came up and I had to find an answer.
Yes.
I needed $1,000. Okay, let me do a silver director run. This was in December before New Year's. So I did it. I got my $1,000. I got my car back, and I was back on track. I was telling Adrian this story, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed to tell people that my car got repossessed." But but he's like, "But imagine that story you're gonna tell when you're done." So now that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not ashamed to say, that's what happened to me. Okay, so 216 goals. If you've gone to, I'm sure when you went to convention, you've seen, you got inspired, you got motivated. How do you plan out your goals for the next year? So first of all, like what I did is make a decision. Okay, find out when you're gonna do it and stick to it. Well, actually, I adjusted it a little because I wanted to make it to growth. So nice. I wanted to make it to growth, but no matter. So make a decision, say yes, then figure it out. That's from Eric Worre. We may not know the answers right now, but that's why the team is there. That's why you have this time to prepare. Start now. Don't start the day before. Duplicate and develop leaders. This is my personal goal since I already have a growing team. When I went to convention in 2014, I only had probably like 5. There were only 5 of us in my team, Team West OC, and 2 of them are now gone. But this last convention, I went with 8 people in my team. So obviously we're growing. So now this is my chance. This is my problem in the beginning when I started my business. Abby said that I wasn't duplicating, because for me it's like I had pride. I was like, no, I can do this on my own. I was doing all the hard work, but then I realized, I was getting burnt out. It's going to be harder for me to grow this business if I don't develop a team. So now my goal is to continue to train them, develop them, teach them what I did, and how I did it. So now they get to teach their team, out of my core leaders, I'm proud that my brother and my boyfriend, I could leave them alone now. Like I just watch them and I'm like, wow. I'm so impressed. Like, my brother was telling me all his plans. I left him for like a few weeks because I was busy training my new person. But he was telling me last night, like, yeah, we already have all these plans and all these events, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, that's awesome, like, keep doing what you're doing. So, with Sean as well, for someone who never thought that he would do this business because he found it hard to speak. I hear him, he's training, his team, his cousins, and I could hear him like it's the same things that I would have said, and why is that? Because he's around me all the time, so he doesn't have a choice. But he's experiencing it, he's seeing what I'm doing. You have to be an example. Because you could tell someone what to do, you could tell your team what to do, but they're not going to do anything until they actually see you, So because that's why I'm really proud of him. One of his team members, his cousin, actually just hit Premium Platinum Pace Setter last night. And he handled that all on their own while I was working on this darn slide. So the only time he had me jump in was because I just typed faster. In place of the order. So, but again, like that's development right there. You can't judge someone just because they don't, they're not fit for the business, or you think, you never know what they can do, and they could do it in their own way. So congratulations to Iris Navarro. She has worked at 11, but congrats to her. Run together. If you have a team, help them get paid. Do this together. Don't just let it be about, oh my gosh, I have to hit gold. No. Make sure that until they reach their goal, don't stop, In our, during the gold run, most of the people in my team had rank advancements. And although, we didn't hit a certain goal, but at least we rank advanced to something. For me, when my run was done, when my gold run was done, for me it was just like, oh my gosh, it's just another week done. So for me, I didn't really feel like, oh my gosh, I'm a gold director, because I felt like, no, until they reach the goal that they said that they wanted to hit, then I'm not done.
All right.
And last goal is to go to convention next year. I cannot stress how much, this really changed my life. And I know most of you guys have been there, but obviously, because of that, I started my first convention, I was director. Now I'm a gold director. Don't go back to convention the same. That's like what Mike said. We receive so much great information at convention. So why don't we use that, Yeah, we get so pumped up right after convention. We make all these declarations. And don't let that leave you just because you think like, I don't know, let me chill for a bit. That was too much. But no, you gotta let that ignite you. Okay, I made a declaration right after convention. Okay, let me go for it now.
Yeah.
You don't go to convention, or you don't go to a competition and just train like, I don't know, I'm just gonna train a little, make some little money, No, you go full on, right? So just prepare that much, prepare a lot, get ready to run. Okay. So last thing, everyone wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. So you say you want to go beast mode. Beast mode. So again, I mean, there's no excuse. What was I gonna say? I made sure I had time for everything. Time for work, obviously, and when I'm at work, I focus on that, so people know that it's like, okay, I'm not, leaving that behind. And then after that, I made sure I had time for the gym, because that's what really like relaxes me and like makes me feel better. So I made sure I made time for that. And in between that, you grow your business, I've done calls in the parking lot, waited a little, just a few minutes. Okay, then I can go home. But whatever you can take care of at that moment, whether it's calls or if you want to text this person real quick, okay, text that person right away. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Before we end, I just want to recognize, some of my team members who ranked advanced to during my gold run, and I just want them to share a little bit about their experience and how they did the run with me. So Nico and Eunice, they both ranked advanced to achiever. Ranked advanced to director. Chini, she's one of our achievers, but she was with me in the beginning of it was her first time during convention. She was with me at the second time of convention, and she's gonna run for silver. Thanks a lot. I just want you guys to share your experience. Just take a couple of things. Go Sean! Go Sean! One of our team members, Ryan, he ranked advanced to builder, but he's at football camp.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, you guys know I'm way shy, so I'm nervous up here, but it's okay. Well, my experience with the run, I remember like before she was already preparing for it. She was like, let me know right now if you're committed to it, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of shy. And she gave me that reverse psychology. She was like, all right, let me know, because if not, then I'm just gonna find someone else and move on,
Not relationship wise.
That's how we saw it.
But anyways, what's it called? So I just declared it too. I gave her my word, and when the time came, I started. Around that time, I started planting my seeds. And then that first week made me realize how it really was. Oh man, I should have prepared even way before, because I was all these appointments are gonna fall into the next week. It's there's nothing I have right here. So
Right.
I was that's when I realized man, I should have prepared even earlier. So another thing is when I was going through it, you shouldn't prejudge, because those are the ones that, for me, the ones that I prejudged, they were the ones that came in clutch at the very end. Those were the ones oh man, thank you so much. I didn't know and there's different times when you do introduce, you're introduce the business and the products in a different way, what would you say, romantic with them, compared to be straight up with them. There's certain times, especially when the pressure's on, at the last hour or two, it's very intense. But I like it, because when it all ended, the rank advancements, we got the rank advancements, but the thing that was valuable to me was the growth that I went through. Because me, I'm really shy, and keep to myself a lot. So this helped me grow a lot. As myself, and also with everybody. People that I started connecting with again.
Nice.
So, that's pretty much it. I wasn't ready for this. Or we weren't ready.
Okay. Well, what my role was during Icee's run was, since I declared that I'm good at selling products, so that's what I did. I got most of my coworkers on Reset. I actually did it with them, and I got people on shakes and stuff. And like what she said, I'm very shy, but I had to put that aside. I texted people, I'd inform them or anything. I just asked them, hey, I know you work out, you need rep or something. So I just had to, put my shyness aside and just how it helped
Nice.
me run.
So with my experience with her gold run was really an eye-opening to me, like with the team. Like I know I live with her, but I don't. I just saw her today, and she's. What do you guys think? Like she's like an awesome leader.
Oh yeah.
So with this run, she's a leader at home and she's a leader here in Busan. Sorry. That wasn't good. To become a leader, you know, in both within the family and in Usana family. So I blanked out. What was I gonna say? So she thought about not herself in this one. She thought about the team. She asked me, she was like, okay, if we put this person under this BC, in my BC, you're gonna hit silver. And I asked her, what about you? Well, I'm not gonna hit gold. So she thought about me rather than, okay, this is my 4th week, this is my last week. She didn't think about this is my gold run. She thought about me, like, we're gonna put this person so you can hit silver. And I looked over at Nick. We were on our way to Vegas. I was like, Nick, she's offering this. And like, you know, she put in hard work. It's her time to shine. And that's the reason why she did it. And it was because of her leadership. And now she's duplicating me. And now my team, now I'm doing that. It's not just about me now. It's about my team. So my team is going to rank advance. One guy would be believer and one would be premier pilot pace setter. And he has 3 more weeks to complete that. So I learned that because of Icee. So I look up to her and she's the best. That's it.
I'm crying.
What do I say? Well, during her run, I think we had a plan for me to also run silver. But at that time, I admit I had a lot of excuses. And so I was like, you know, I wasn't really preparing. Like, she was like, okay, in 2 weeks, it's your run. Next week, it's your run. So the day before, I think I texted her or called her. I don't remember. I was like, I'm not prepared. Like, I don't think I can hit, you know? And she's like, no, you're gonna hit. And I was like, are you sure? You know, I haven't been I've been distant in the business for a while. And she's like, doesn't matter, we're gonna keep pushing, you're gonna hit, you know, this and that. And the last day, we were like 2 or 1.5 pro packs, I don't know, pro packs away from silver, and I was like, dang, I'm really not gonna hit. And then I was like getting bummed, and then I was like, you know what? Why would I be bummed? Like, she's running for silver, and I texted Abby. I was like, but is she gonna hit? And she's like, don't worry, she's gonna hit. So I was like, okay, cool. So like helped her out with points, and then after that, I texted her. I was like, did you make it? And she didn't text back, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Is it because of me? And then like everyone on Kakao, like you have a group text, and they're like, oh yay, you goal director, and I was like, oh, thank God. And then I'm like, this, you know, she didn't text back, like how rude. So then after that, like 5 minutes later, I laid on my brother's couch. I was like, wait, I didn't make it. So then I got really bummed for like an hour. And in that hour, I texted Abby. I was like, I'm not going to convention. Texted her, sorry, I'm not going to convention. And I was like really bummed about it. I was like, no, I made up my mind. The next week, Abby and Icee, were you guys together?
No.
Because you guys were like, at the same time, like teaming up, like, oh my gosh, guys. You know, but yeah, like with your text messages, it's not just because, you know, you want me to, like, not just because of that, but you guys saw, like, what help I can do. So I was like, okay, I'll go to convention. And in convention, I learned so much, and I learned a lot about myself. And I know that I did excuses like before, and I was like, that's not how it is now. So now I'm more focused, more driven, thanks to you guys, thanks to you especially. Since day one, you know, I'm always like back and forth. I'm on that roller coaster like all the time. Like it's 24/7, you know, which is with everyone. And I read this book, why can't I name it? The cow book. It's like my holy grail now. Yeah. Every time like someone's talking to me and like they say like an excuse or something like a justification or anything, I'm always like, cow. When I'm trying to say something, I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to say a cow. I change it, you know, and like my perspective and everything like changed 180. I was about to say 260. 180. So like, thank you for pushing me so much. I love you. It was fun.